You want a polyamorous relationship?
No, not poly, but just, I don't know, paperwork. I'm not going to change my name.
Well,
I'm not religious.
And I'll cut this out if you want me to. I know you've talked about and you've joked about how you've been involuntarily celibate for the better part of the last year, some change.
You say I'm an incel. I don't say I'm involuntary. You put that on me, and I've accepted the title.
Okay, so those words I've put in your mouth. Do you find any peace or comfort in that, or do you like? Do you like?
Oh, I love.
Do you like that alone time, or do you think like,
yes.
Why can't I find?
No,
when do I get to?
I never.
You don't feel that way?
I have moments.
Yeah,
for sure. I would.
I think moments are always there. Yeah.
But I feel so like it's like a meditative state. I'm not like, what are they thinking, or what are they doing, or are they out fucking someone, or
right.
Are they, you feel happy? I am just one with my own brain, and it's been nice. I mean, I'd like to add someone for sure.
Why? What would you want to share some experiences with someone?
Yeah, it was nice to see my friend so in love and so supported, and she's been through really hard times in her life, and he came into her life during one of those really traumatic times, and that got brought up a lot during the wedding, and it was just such a beautiful through line of someone that came to her in a time when she needed it most, and he's been her rock. And, I just think there's something about that with relationships where it's someone to kind of be by your side to hold you up when things go bad. So that's what I really loved seeing at the wedding, and they just make each other so happy. And I'm like, I'm happy, but I was like, that looks nice.
Do you ever feel like you could have that, or if there's something in you that's broken that can't have that? That's
a really great question. I think part of me likes to create problems and have a more tumultuous situation. Like I like to have toxic experiences. I think historically I've dated people that
like to have toxic experiences, or are you more comfortable in toxic experiences, or you're drawn to them? That's very interesting. Why would you say drawn to them? Because that's
my first relationship was very toxic, and I think
I know
it's like a weird comfort there.
Your parents went through a divorce at an age where you were cognizant of understanding what was going on. So that definitely, I mean, you were in your early teens when that was going on, right?
Yeah.
That's during coming of age years, where that's probably there probably wasn't a lot of intimacy between your parents at that point before that you saw. And like as you're starting to become aware of that.
Other.
Yeah,
I thought that was normal too. I thought it was like, oh, you're just supposed to coexist and joke.
And that, I mean, you don't think that's had an impact on your ability to
love people? For sure. 1,000,000,000%.
You think so?
1,000,000,000%.
In what way? Because you don't trust them, or because you think it's going to crash and burn regardless of what you're going to do?
I think my subconscious holds on to the crash and burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think I'm
like
never
going to...
House of
cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all just a house of cards.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a runner too. Like if I smell something is going bad, I just take off. I'm like, this is not my problem. I'm happy alone. I don't need this. I'm good. And I just take off. What would be so running would be the thing you wouldn't want to do. What would be the thing that you should do in the running? I guess stay there and deal with the bullshit, Face the shit if you want to keep going.
Yeah.
Which is how you stay with relationships.
Yeah.
I haven't had a long relationship in a very long time, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because that's when you find out when things in a relationship aren't going well. That's when you find out what the source of the issues are, and most of the time it's you. And
relationships are a mirror on yourself. You learn more about yourself than the other person, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
That's why I also am like I haven't been in one for 3 years, and I'm like maybe I'm stagnant on me looking in the mirror, and I could definitely reflect on more things, which is why I want to put myself out there. That almost sounds very selfish, but
no, it doesn't. I think I have a 2-year likability to me. I think I'm good for about 2 years. Then after that, you're like, that's who this is. Yeah.
And you're like, this stinks.
No, they think that of me.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah. It's like after 2 years, you're like, oh, he just is this way.
2 years.
Which happens. Yeah, I think 2 years.
What do you think is at the core of the stink?
Of me? I just hate myself too much to ever love somebody the way I'm supposed to.
Are you going to cut that out?
No.
Okay. That's very vulnerable. We're being we are.
Do you want me to cut any of this out?
No, I like it. I'm just saying we put our hearts on a table and we're like, yeah, everyone want to look at this? Who wants to dissect it? We're in science class.
Yeah. I think that's
Fun.
where, and
I mean,
and,
I'm
and
very
anytime
open.
I've tried to hold on to a relationship knowing that, I've thought, okay, I'll fix that problem and I'll be able to get over the self-hatred thing because that's just my bullshit and I can get over my bullshit. Don't worry about that. And that's not the right move because you just end up hurting the other person who oftentimes I've had to make love me enough for the two of us when I should have been there to put that energy into our relationship rather than sweep up whatever's broken inside of me. I also think it also comes to a point too where you have to realize that other person sometimes is A, not ready to be helped, or B, just doesn't want to be helped, or C, doesn't think they deserve the help. And a lot of the time those long-term relationships that like last year or two like fizzle out and there's been some red flags going on and you're just like, why don't you just leave? Because you think like, okay, we'll get through this bump in the road, we'll figure it out because the hardest thing to do is rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And once you do, it doesn't feel, you think you're gonna feel like, whew,
yeah,
but truly it's like, oh damn, all right, let me learn how to live with this again. Then you live with it, and then it's one thing Buddhism taught me is nothing is permanent, which is crazy because I get attached to things very.
You do?
Yeah, very much. I mean, there's 2 lightsabers behind me.